What's up, guys? Joey V here again for another little vloggy type video. But today there's not going to be a theme. We're just going to talk. So let's just jump right into it. A couple weeks ago, I'd say actually probably close to a month ago, I made a poll on thegoliecrease.net and on Facebook, and I even asked a couple of people in person what they thought about me possibly growing out some flow. The overwhelming response was yes, grow out some flow. So I decided that that's what I'm going to do. Now on to some more hockey related news. The talk of the town up here in Montreal is the coach change, both in Boston and in Montreal. We're going to start with Boston being Claude Julien, who's been there for the last, who can count how many years anymore. Did a phenomenal job in Boston with what he had, was able to bring the team to a Stanley Cup win in 2011. And just like every other team, there's years where it's ups and downs on offensive production and in goaltending. And he was still able to do some really good work with that team. He kept a win ratio of above 600, which is amazing. And then recently, a couple of weeks ago, he was actually fired because, well, like it always is with hockey, you blame the coach when things don't go right. You can't just fire your hockey players, so you get rid of the coach. And that's what Montreal did too. Recently, Michel Therrien was just let go because Montreal's been having a bit of a crappy season, and things aren't going right. Last year, actually between last season and this season, PK Subban was traded for Shea Weber because apparently Subban wasn't a good fit with the team. Turns out the problem might have been coaching and not just the one player. While I don't necessarily regret the trade, I actually very much like Shea Weber. I think that it made sense for the team overall, but I think it makes even more sense now that Therrien is gone and that we're going to be bringing a new atmosphere, attitude, and type of play to the Canadians. That said, I think it's a little bit funny that for the second time in a row, Michel Therrien is actually being fired and going to be replaced by Claude Julien, because that's exactly what happened in 2003 when Julien got his first crack at coaching the Habs. As for me and my hockey, well, you're going to get a bit of an update on that too. The Machine Gulls have been having a rough time. We have one win in our last 6 or 7 games. We aren't scoring, and I'm personally getting annihilated. I had that one random hero moment where I was able to steal a game for us, but other than that, things haven't been going well. We're actually no longer going to be staying in that league as of next season. We have 6 or 7 games left this year, and then it's the playoffs, but no one really cares at this point because it's just not fair to have 3 or 4 different divisions all grouped into one just because they wanted to have one division on a Saturday night. They just put everybody together. So we spoke with the league, and they really don't care. They believe that there's parity between the teams and there's competition, and that it's perfectly fine. So that said, it's going to be our last year in that league. Over the summer, I'm actually not going to be playing with the Machine Gulls simply because I've got other projects and I have a lot of work. I'm going to be with the Muskebière, and I'm also going to be playing on a very beginner team as a forward, center specifically. And I also have soccer. I play soccer 2 times a week, so that's it fills up my activity card quite a bit. For the Muskebière, we're actually not doing too bad. We just recently hit a 500 win ratio in this division, leaving aside the first 10 games we had in the lower division where we won everything. The standings actually don't take that into consideration. They only take into consideration wins and losses within the same division. So with that 500 win ratio, we're currently tied in 4th position, which means we're going to be playing the other team that's tied for 4th position, which is actually a team that we're very, very capable of beating. There's actually only 2 teams in our division that are kind of difficult for us, and if anything, we'd be facing them in the finals. That said, we've been having a lot of roster issues recently with missing players, specifically like our best forwards. It's been a terrible issue with them calling in I guess we could say calling in sick, or just telling us they're not going to show up within a few hours of a game, and then we have to scramble to find just somebody who can make the game, which is terrible for us. You know, just having bodies on the ice is difficult. Being able to replace our best players makes things even more complicated. So that's been a little bit of an issue for us. 2 weeks ago during the game where my camera actually cut short in second period, there was a huge fight at the end. It was basically a line brawl, and we actually had one of our players on the bench leave the bench to come and try and separate everything, but obviously the league doesn't take it at all. They don't tolerate someone leaving the bench, regardless if they're joining the fight or they're there to stop the fight. You're getting penalized. And so that player has been suspended 2 games. It's usually 3, and because of both the team's record and his personal record, they dropped the suspension down to 2 games only. And then a few of our players that were implicated in the fight actually got a 1-game suspension as well, which is a little funny that the person actually fighting gets a 1 game and then the person trying to break it up gets usually 3. But anyways, so we're actually going to be almost back to our full roster this week. However, we do have 2 absences, so we have to replace them. Hopefully we can get some people that can do a pretty solid job with us. We're playing against, I believe it's Dunlop, and we're trying to keep a positive mindset that we're going to be able to pull a win with this one as well, stay where we are kind of in the standings. I believe I think we have 9 or 10 games left to the season before the playoffs start. We're in a pretty good position right now. I've been playing pretty solid over the last couple of games, save percentages in the high 800s. Close, some games even in the 900s. So if I can maintain that level and even bring it up a little bit, it should help us. And then obviously we need our offense to keep doing its job. Scoring 1 or 2 goals a game just isn't enough. So if they can keep up the offensive production, then it'll be great. Moving on to my equipment. As some of you remember, I broke my last custom stick a couple of weeks ago, and since then I've actually put an order through in Paso for the next set. Thankfully, one of my good friends has recently become their sales manager at Paso, which means that he'll actually be helping me get not necessarily a better service, but maybe sometimes a quicker turnaround time, sometimes a better deal, a bit of inside information, because I'm actually going to be working on his helmet. Those of you who watch my most recent videos know that my goalie mask has been painted, and when I saw the person actually paint my mask, I decided that it wasn't going to be too difficult and that I'd kind of throw myself into the same field. And I've actually done a bit of work so far in the hydrographics field, and it turned out really, really good. So I'm going to be doing my buddy's mask as well. Almost the same thing as me, actually. It's going to be the same pattern, but with a red base instead of green, and then we're going to change the stickers on top of it. So that's going to be something to look forward to for another video. That's pretty much it for this vloggy vlog, and I guess I'll catch you next time.